Okay, thank you for being invited and for having this opportunity to provide some information about Sinkaberg Hansen's activities related to animal welfare. To start with, I would like to give you some information, some key figures about the company. Sinkaberg Hansen is a family-owned company with head office in Næresund municipality in the northern part of Trøndelag County. This is also where we have our main activity, both at sea and on shore. We also have activities in the neighboring municipalities Leka, Bindal, and Brønnøy. The total revenue is approximately 2.5 billion Norwegian kroner. We are in the process of finalizing a new slaughterhouse at Marøya, that is close to where we have the present slaughterhouse. We have already started test production, but we hope to finalize the construction work in June this year. The total production cost, construction cost is approximately 850 million Norwegian kroner. And there we will have a capacity of around 370 tons per 8 hours. In addition, we are also constructing a new smolt production facility called Svaberget in the northern part of the municipality Næresund. That is located next to Bindal Smolt, our present smolt facility. The construction cost at Svaberget will be approximately 700 million Norwegian kroner, and we will produce approximately 6 million smolt per year. So that will give us a total capacity of around 10 million smolt per year in the two facilities. This, what we call the blue triangle, was created in Norway during the national salmon lice project some 10 years ago. In Sinkaberg Hansen, we use these principles actively in our production planning. We believe that it's still valid, and it's an important tool for us. We are about to finalize a 5-year project in the Bindal Fjord area, which is in the southern part of Nordland County. Here we have looked into a detailed production solution where we produce fish at the early stages of the sea phase in the fjord system. We call the project the Bindal Fjord Kindergarten Project because we aim at moving the fish from the fjords after 6 to 9 months out to the more exposed sites further out at the coast for the final on-growing. A key factor in this Bindal Fjord Kindergarten project was to have a coordinated fallowing each spring for 2 to 3 months before we place the smolt in the sea. The reason for that is that we believe that we will have the fjord system free of any infestative stages of salmon lice. And we see that because of the sea temperature and the salinity, we see that it will take quite some time to have infestative stages of the salmonids after we have placed the smolt in the fjord. That is also a key factor because we will then avoid any effect on the wild salmonids in the fjords. In this fjord, we have among others, we have the southernmost river stock of sea char. We also have several salmon stocks and sea trout stocks. We have monitored a lot of parameters in this 5-year project, and we see that if we manage to follow this procedure, we will be able to have salmon that we can move out to the coast without any sea lice, and we will also not affect the river stocks of the wild salmonids in the area. That's why we, as you can see we have included ecology as an important parameter in the blue triangle. We believe that this is a key factor to improve welfare throughout the production. And of course, we also aim at having all other or most of the preventive measures below the dotted line in order to handle the fish as little as possible. In Sinkaberg-Hansen, we have identified animal welfare as a key goal in our sustainability work. And in our opinion, we believe that this is a factor that to a large extent is affecting the production cost. Therefore, for us, we aim at having welfare as an impetus in our production. And by doing that, we see that we will reduce the production cost. One of the challenges that we have is and that's together with most of the Norwegian aquaculture, is to identify the relevant welfare production parameters. And that is an ongoing process now, both in Sinkaberg-Hansen and in the Norwegian aquaculture. Welfare is, and it should be, a key factor throughout the production. That is why we are developing and improving our internal control system. We have initiated a process where we try to identify stages in the early phase of the planning, all relevant factors that can affect welfare. And we try to connect that with the possibilities of preventing sea lice at sea, and to see what options we have for controlling at the different sites. We also have put a particular focus into the type of feedback that we get from customers, positive or complaints, to see if any of this feedback can be traced back to earlier parts of the production, and in particular if that can affect or improve the welfare issues. If we look at all this in a total, we have, of course, this blue triangle as a background, but if you see this figure, we have knowledge on top. For us at Sinkaberg-Hansen, we have for several years had our own in-house health unit with veterinarians and fish health biologists. And that's because we consider that the day-to-day discussions that we have, the contact with and involvement with engineers, other parts of development, planning and production, to be an important asset for improving welfare throughout the production. I've already mentioned the Bindal model that you can see here up to the right. For us, if we succeed with that early step in the production, we believe that we will have an increased welfare situation in the production. Of course, we also have other factors like semi-closed solutions. We have the Atlantis solution, and we have also some in-house projects. One we call Nautilus, which is submerged solution. One key factor is the internal control system for welfare. Here we will try to identify all steps in the production that can affect welfare, and to try to find a relevant welfare parameter to monitor the welfare situation at that stage in the production. Of course, To a certain extent, we need measures to reduce the sea lice levels, in particular at the end of the sea phase of the production, on the late stages of the on-growing process. There we have developed a method we call fresh well, and in developing this method, we have had very good dialogue with the Norwegian Food Safety Authority to make sure that we take all the relevant welfare steps in the development and the trials and the tests that we have done with this method so far. We hope that we are at the late stage of this trial, and to have that as an effective method later this summer. Although we have a relatively low death rate had for some years, we have a big focus on welfare parameters throughout the production. We see that in planning and in handling procedures and how we develop and use the equipment that we have, we still can, to a great extent, improve fish welfare. And by this, I would like to thank you all for your attention.